Good day, students. My name is Jeksemba Nushash, and today's topic of our lecture is design of the sensor testing area. That's the most important part of the experimenting of the sensor evaluation, and what factors is influence on the result of our work. So the conditions should be controlled in order to reduce bias, improve accuracy, and improve sensitivity. So as we take all of the senses before, so sense of the sight, sense of the smell, sense of the taste, hearing, and touching, all of this sense, of course, have the factors which is influencing on the accuracy and the sensitivity. And biases will be occur for all time of our analysis, but we are trying to reduce the bias. So the main consideration to keep in mind when preparing an area for sensory testing, it's the concern, the requirement for an atmosphere conducive to concentration and where condition can be controlled. So sensory panelists need somewhere comfortable and free from distraction of they are to be able to tune in to the sensation triggered by the stimuli in the food products they are tasting. So product characteristics can be markedly affected by the temperature, and humidity and appearance is affected by the lighting intensity. So all of this kind of the factors which is influence on all our the sense. So the standard look at the design at the testing area for boards or new or existing buildings. So it's all also specifies which recommendation or consider it essential and which are not only desirable. So important points summarized from the standard all listed below. If we are designing an area that it's to be dedicated solely to test panel work, there should be seriously considered. So total area should include testing area with individual booths or a group of the area, preparation area for preparation the samples as a kitchen, office, cloakroom, restroom, and toilets. So the working place can be look like this. So it's the separately as a booth for the working, as a testing. So for each section can come one person, and it should be on the level to don't see the other person, because we know that all of the factors are influencing on the opinion for the panelists so easily. So we are avoiding the contact between them. So requirements for the general testing area. So it's the easily accessible but in quiet position. And about location should be close proximity to preparation area, but separate entrance and with a complete. So it's the complete close off capability. And the removing the samples and the temperature or the volatile compounds or mixing all of them can be make the some trouble in the testing samples. So we should take a close proximity to preparation area. Okay. So next is temperature and relative humidity. It should be constant and controllable and comfortable. So for temperature, we can decreasing or increasing the temperature, but about the relative humidity, it's something little difficult, but also has a huge influence on the food product. So if we are just in short time taking the samples, that's okay. So, but if those samples is keep it or stored in this relative humidity for a long time, of course, it still has a big distracting condition for the all of the samples. And about the noise, we should keep to minimum soundproof area as much as possible. So also the noise, the odor, the lighting, all of this can be ambition for the influencing or the tasting. So noise, odors, use odorless materials and construction decoration. So we should keep area from others. So it can be air conditioners, carbon filter, slight positive pressure, etc. And they use odorless cleaning agents. So nowadays, a lot of cleaning agents which has an aromatic, so it can be increase the pHs. So when they mixing with the aroma, yeah. So we understand that it's the synthetic aromatic substances much more sensitive for our senses, so we should avoid kind of this cleaning agents. And the decoration should be neutral, light colors for wall and furniture. So, for example, it can be white or gray, light gray, etc. Lightning, ambition lighting must be uniform, shadow-free, and controllable for consumers testing as close to home conditions as it possible. So it make your panelists feel free and evaluate in the daily conditions. So it's the booth for panelists. So the samples giving from this desktop and the kind of the utensils, cleaning, palette clearing, and in this case you have a automatized computerized sheets, and then you can evaluate it. So these samples and several instructions for them, and of course for the rinsing your aids, you're necessary to have water. So it's the for long-term using of the panelists in the sensory evaluation. So boots, it's number minimum 3, normally 5 to 10, 6 is usual number, since it fits in well with balanced ordering of 3 samples. So space should allow sufficient for movement of the taster and for serving samples. Setup should be permanent boots recommended and size and style specified. And also, as you can see, there is a lightning, a little not so intensive. Yeah, so you are trying to make lighting as at home. And also, there is capable experiments when they change the color of the lightning with red, green, yellow. How does the influence on the evaluating of the samples? So also for the setups, we consider space for samples, utensils, spittoons, resin, agents, score sheets and pens, computerized equipment, and include comfortable seats, controllable lighting, and devices to mask appearance in dimmers, colored light, and or filter. So for group work area, general necessary for discussion and training, the proposed include large table and several chairs. So ladies use and useful, include board for discussion notes. Of course, it's all discussion after all of the tasting is necessary. Yeah. So then lighting for general area with colored lighting options like booths. Then preparation area, general located close to assessment areas, but no access to tasters. So during the preparation, this can be released kind of the intensive smell, or just a boiling, or just cooking, frying, all of the preparation processes is take and have an influence on them. So that's why we are trying to locate it not not close to assessment area. So design for efficient workflow, well-ventilated, flexible services, plumbing, gas, electricity, and equipment depending on the testing required include working surfaces, sinks, cooking equipment, refrigerator, freezer, dishwasher, etc. So storage space for crockery, etc. For crockery, glassware is for serving samples. So preparation area requires adequate storage for utensils and equipment, adequate working surfaces to set out samples, washing up facilities, minimum double sink with the hot and cold running water, refrigerator with the separate freezer, preferably at least auto defrost, and cooking equipment depending on the sample and the requirement, and rubbish bin large in the with the liner bags. Okay, so it's all of the utensils which is needed for this area. And the office area, it's the general separate but close to testing area, reasonably size, desk, filing cabinet, computer, bookcase, photocopying service needed, and additional areas. It's useful to include restroom, cloakroom, and the toilet, of course. So thank you for your attention. And see you in our next lecture.